wonderful good day to everyone. This is Owen McCafferty again. Thanks to the kindness and generosity of Professional Fusion, bring another idea, a thought for those of you in veterinary medicine, dentistry, and dermatology. Today I'd like to talk about consistency in application as it relates to preparation of financial data. If you remember the old process, first of all you have data, then you have information, from information you have knowledge, and from knowledge hopefully you'll eventually gain wisdom. But data summary becomes so important to make the information usable. I'm thinking specifically something very basic, and that is summarization of receipts and disbursements on a consistent basis with relevance. I know there's a whole slew of means out there by which you could summarize information. Back in 1986, our firm, Owen McCafferty CPA Inc., was lucky enough and was given the opportunity to provide the first codified and accepted chart of accounts through the American Animal Hospital Association. Person chairing that was Dr. Chaz Hendricks. There are a whole slew of other people that you might recognize. The deceased recently, Ben Johnson, good friend, but Dr. Johnston was critical in the development of that chart of accounts. From that chart of accounts, you've seen reiterations that have occurred through veterinary study groups, through various companies, but they all followed that same format of summarization. The problem is that when you summarize information, especially when you try to improve on what you have, you lose that which you had. Consistency in application also establishes comparability. And what we've seen as a trending so far is that as each new person enters the lovely world of accounting in a practice, they always try to do something that's different, but they don't maintain the consistency. There's no translation routine that allows you to compare multiple years, 3, 4, 5 years together. At our firm, what we chose to do was to maintain that consistency. And if we were to change things, we have a tracing sheet. And the tracing sheet then provides comparability and translation as to what was and what is. The reason why I raised that as an issue is before this webinar, I was reviewing some work papers. And in reviewing the work papers, I found that there was a lack of consistency. I tried to edit the work papers for comparability between years. I found after the fact that comparability was a critical part of coming up with logical conclusions. So what I suggest to each one of you, when you're handed your comparative financial statement, which unfortunately is only 2 years in most instances, you see variations. Insist upon a translation utility. That is, were there classifications that occurred in the prior year that were amended and improved so that you can compare that which was and that which is. Also, one last issue, don't bother on just looking at 2 years. Open up your prior financial statements and look for multiple years. Some accountants, such as our firm, prepare 5-year analyses of where people sit, what the practices are doing, and then we tell the story. We also mark it up and we show where there are inconsistencies and where there could be concerns for the future. Insist upon that kind of translation utility from those individuals that work with you, be they practice managers, bookkeepers, accountants, and consultants. Often people who are not involved with the detail, that is the data that we had talked about earlier today, can't provide you with information that is usable. So insist upon the data translation utility before information is then reviewed. From good, reliable information, you can gain knowledge about your practice. And ultimately, hopefully have that wisdom that's needed to make proper decisions of where your practice is, where it's going, and what you can do to change. Never act on anything without knowledge. Without knowledge, you have to have information first, and of course, that information is useless unless the data is consistently applied. With that, my name is Owen McCafferty. I would like to say thank you very much, and hopefully the next time you review your financial information, you'll be aware of some of these variations on a theme.